What the am I back? Am I back? Wait a minute. Holy shit, it's been a while since I've been here. I'm not gonna lie. I've been in a transition. As you can tell, I'm in a new place. This isn't my old apartment. I had to get a new apartment under my name for myself. And yeah, I'm doing pretty good. There's been a transitional period in my life, which is, whatever. But I have been able to play The Last of Us. It's been a month now, and I feel like it's time to really get my thoughts out there because I've had time to process. I've had time to actually think about the game instead of just judging it based off of my emotions. I've been judging it based off of like what we were given. And that's something that people really haven't been able to do. And I think that this is a good time to really do that for my review. I don't want to just like deep dive into like how, well, I do want to talk about how I felt and how I really think about the game as a whole. Going into this game, I really didn't want to love it before I loved it. I didn't want to hate it before I hated it. I was going in here with an open mind. Like, okay, this can be really good or really bad, but either way, I'm going to be open about it. And there were some moments where I'm like, this is kind of getting weird, but it got really good for me. So let's just get into this story. Let's get into the review. Let's try to get 400 likes before anything. My first video back after a while, I would like a little bit of motivation. And then, of course, follow me on Twitter and Instagram for any updates because that's where I've been posting most of my, updates about life. So if you want to know more about my life, that's the best way to do it because I usually post updates on there. So Instagram, Twitter, link in the description below. Let's get into the story. The first bit, it's really hard to talk about the story, so spoilers. If you want to know my non-spoiler thoughts about the game, I liked it. I don't want to just go play the game if you haven't played the game, or if you don't care about spoilers, then here it is. But I think that the story did a very good job at transitioning from part one to here. I really don't see how they could have made a part two and did it in a way that was interesting and still true to the characters. Because you can say whatever you want about what these characters are, but the way these characters are portrayed in this game are so good that I really, it was hard to hate what they did. Even though I didn't like what they did with some characters, which I'll get into in a minute, like a few characters, I really didn't like what they did. Like Tommy with Jesse. Yeah, even Joel for a moment. But that was all emotional. That was all when I was like really emotional in the game. Like, fuck, man, that sucked. But whatever. If we do get into the characters like Dina and Jesse and Abby, all these brand new characters are very well done. They're all fleshed out. They're all their own character. They all have their own personalities. They all have their own type of goals in mind. Jesse, I think, is one of the most wasted characters in the game. He's there and he's good for when he's there. But when he's gone, you feel like, God damn it, he was just taken from us. It was so sad. It sucked the way he died. I think that his character could have been given a lot more to do in this game, like just as a character as a whole. There's a lot that you could have still explored there. But I think that was one of the most disappointing parts of the entire story was what they did with Jesse. Especially the fact that we don't really see Dina's reaction. We just see the fact that they moved on from Jesse, which sucks. But whatever. Joel, I mean, we're not going to get to Joel yet. Joel's the next one, all right? I like Abby. I think Abby's a great character. I don't know why people are so upset with her. I get that, again, it's always that first initial emotional response, that first impression. And that's what most people talk about her as. And I get that. But you're not looking at the whole picture. You don't need to sympathize with this character. You don't have to feel for her. You just have to understand why she did that to Joel. Because it really does make sense why she did that. I mean, especially with the resources that those people had, the Fireflies and the Wolves, it makes sense for what she did and why she did it. I don't know why people are so upset with it. It seems like they just wanted a part two that only had Joel and Ellie right after the first part. And let me tell you, that would be the most uninteresting and boring story if you made the lie from the first game the central focus and conflict of the next game. That would have been idiotic. Like, I don't know why you would want that. The way they did it in this game was just way better. And it would not have made sense for Joel to be a big main character in the game. He's the character that drives the plot forward. But he's not the main character. He's a side character. And that's a pill that a lot of people can't seem to swallow. but like it's something that was gonna happen no matter what. His arc was finished. The first game was his arc. He's lost a daughter, he gained a daughter. He's done. Now you do what you do to try to make it seem like, you know, we all understand why he did it, just like how we understand Abby. So when we get into Joel's character, when we get into like his death, Joel's death was fucking hard. It was emotionally hard on me. I was like, fuck. Like I saw the leaks, but when I'm playing it, when I didn't even, like when you watch the leaks and you play the game, two completely different experiences. I was like, really, this is what people are flipping out about? There's no way we're going to feel the same when we play it. And I was 100% right. I felt so fucked. Oh, fuck. Joel. I was, when I was moving in here, I grabbed a golf club from there. I opened this closet and there was a golf club there, and I literally had like that moment where Ellie looks down her hand and she sees Joel's like dead face. Fuck. No, yeah, this game was fucking crazy. Like, it's really, really hard. It's brutal. Joel's death is fucked, and in many ways, sure, it could have been handled respectively, but I don't think I would have had the same emotional impact when Joel gives Ellie the space thing, like in the whole dinosaur museum thing. That would not have been impactful if it would have gone in chronological order. You can't tell me otherwise. If Joel didn't die before that, there would have been no single fucking reason to feel any emotion for that, because he's living a fantasy that he created from the last game. He wants a daughter. He wants to treat her like her daughter. Treat her like his daughter. But that's just fucking nuts. It's kind of crazy when you look at it from that chronological point of view. That makes Joel look like even a shittier person. My opinion. Like, Joel dying, them killing Joel made him look like a better person. I actually like the fact that they killed him off earlier, even if I don't like how they did it, and I don't like that he died. There's nothing I can do about it. That's how the world works. That's how that world works. And I love that they did it. I think Ellie's revenge was handled well. She kills everybody that's responsible for Joel's death. Jordan, Nora, Owen, Mel, Manny got killed by Tommy. But, I think everybody in that room died. They're all dead, besides Abby. But even still, like, I'll get into that in a second. Ellie's vengeance, she still got vengeance. She killed everybody that Abby cared for, just like how Abby killed Joel, which is or killed Joel and Jesse and, everybody that she cared about, besides Dina. But then, at the end, out of spite, out of vengeance, out of like, oh, I can't sleep, I can't eat, Ellie goes off and tries to kill Abby. But like, and I get why people think that they're trying to sympathize Abby or whatever, but like, when you look at Abby's point of view, she's trying to get redemption for killing Joel. It's a back and forth there, and I love it. I really do like the fact that when she kills Joel, she's not whole. She killed Joel, but she's still getting nightmares of her father. She's still waking up in sweats and screams, just like how Joel woke up from, Sarah's death and whatever. I like that parallel. I don't think anybody's ever actually mentioned that Joel and Abby both wake up from nightmares of their daughters, and they both get kind of redemption at the end. I don't think Joel really got redemption. He didn't get redemption. He just got what he wanted. And Abby didn't really get redemption either. I mean, she just saved 2 kids on accident. It was just all timing. But she felt for those people in a way that she felt, could have helped her redeem as a better person. And I like that storyline. I like that plot. Someone who did something horrible to, like, Ellie. And, like, oh, God, yeah, I took this girl's, like, surrogate father. She doesn't really think about it like that, but she realizes that revenge wasn't, like, worth it. And then at the end, of course, Ellie kind of sees that too, and she realizes that it's not worth it. I kind of put Abby's redemption before her revenge. Or, I mean, Abby's redemption and revenge go hand in hand because she's trying to get redemption. But when Mel and Owen get killed, she's so fucking bent out of anger. She's just, like, crazy. She goes and gets revenge. So it's a double-edged sword where it's just like, if Ellie didn't do anything, Abby probably would have maybe became a better person along the process, because realistically, Abby was not affected by Ellie's story until the third day of Seattle, until the very, very, very final part where she finally gets back from Seattle after Seraphite's Island. She sees that Ellie killed Mel and Owen. She thought Tommy did it, obviously, but still, you get what I'm saying. It's back and forth. It's a cycle of vengeance, and no matter what, going to the ends to try to do an eye for an eye, it doesn't work out at the end. It doesn't work out for you, because you're not gonna feel that. You're not gonna feel complete. You're just gonna feel more anger and more. It's crazy, because that's what the ending is, and everything that it all goes hand in hand. Like, I wrote this down just to kind of list it off, but now that I'm really reading it, like, this was a pretty clever way I charted it, because that's exactly what it is. It goes from Joel's death to Ellie's vengeance to Abby's redemption on the third day. I guess we go like 3 days with Ellie and then 3 days with Abby. So the 3 days with Ellie, it's all confusing. But it goes from Ellie's vengeance to Abby's redemption, back to Abby's vengeance, and then we get to the end where Ellie wants revenge again. But like, it's not for a pure reason. It's because Tommy wants revenge and he can't do it. And Maria probably is like, no, we're not going to send anybody to California to kill her. It just, there's literally, it makes so much sense when you look at it. Ellie doesn't want to go kill Abby. This is something that's just born out of Tommy's vengeance. And she does it just because she's just so fucking out of it. She thinks that this is a good way to do it, but she realizes at the end that even if she does kill her, there's not going to be any type of closure. Joel's still dead. It just wouldn't make sense if Abby died. If Ellie killed Abby at the end, it would have made her seem like a shitty person. She already seemed like a shitty person when she threatened Lev for no fucking reason. But I mean, realistically, if Ellie killed Abby then, she would have just been as bad as Abby killing, Joel in front of Ellie, because now Ellie's killing Abby in front of Lev. And Lev is essentially what Ellie was to fucking Joel. So, if Ellie killed her at the end, it just would have been fucking terrible. It just wouldn't have made sense. The cycle of vengeance would have kept going. And then we would have got a third game where we're fucking Lev and we're going after Abby or Ellie. That's just, I like that. I really did like the story. I think that it had a good message. Not like a good message behind it. I just liked how dark it was. And it just kept getting darker. It kept getting more fucking crazy and more, like, holy shit. How worse can it get? I don't know. I just like that, and I like where they took the characters and how they morphed the characters over the 3 days in Seattle and the 3 days where Abby went. It was all very interesting. I really did enjoy that. I don't think the music gets enough credit. There's so many reviews, but nobody touches on the fucking music. It's not like the first game. I personally think that this game, Part 2, is way better. Miles better. The music, in terms of quality, each single one is fucking great. I would listen to every single one without skipping them. Like The Last of Us Part 1, I would probably skip fucking 70% of them, But most of these ones, like Eye for an Eye, which is not even made by Gustavo. Gustavo was collaborating with somebody called Mac Qualley. I really hope I pronounced that name wrong. He did Mr. Robot. He did most of Mr. Robot. All of the goddamn songs in this goddamn game, I have it written down. All Gone, The Promise, Grieving, Longing, which is, besides the context of Longing, it's a good goddamn track, okay? Chasing a Rumor, which is it's almost like it's like the only time we really hear like the Fireflies theme song in this game, which is crazy. It Can't Last, Beyond Desolation. The main theme's okay, but the main theme's not as good as everything else. I would say that the rest of the track besides the main theme is fucking phenomenal. It's bizarre how good this fucking music is. It especially fits the game too. So I just don't see anybody giving it enough credit. I think Gustavo and Mac did a fucking stellar job with the intensity that they fucking presented. And I really hope that if they do make a third one, they bring these guys back, because they're just fucking perfect with whatever tone they're trying to fit. Let's talk about gameplay. This shit was intense. I don't know why, but every single turn had my heart fucking racing. Nah, bro, I just heard whistling. I'm not fucking around with this shit. What do you mean? I know what enemy type they're introducing. I know who they're... Oh! Jesus Christ! And again, this goes back to the saying, you can't experience this shit by watching it. You can't. It's so much different. If you watch the Seraphite's introduction cutscene, everybody who played this shit's gonna fucking jump. If you watch that, you're not gonna jump. Sorry, you're not. You won't. It's not the same experience. If you play half of the jump scares, that you know, you're not gonna get scared by these if you're just fucking watching them on YouTube. The gameplay is such an essential part of this fucking game. It's so brutal. It's very visceral, and I'm not trying to like fucking be like some top reviewer who just, you know, I don't care. This gameplay is amazing. It's really, really fun. And my first play through, I kind of went survival like halfway through, and then I went to the medium because I was trying to beat the game as fast as possible. I was like, halfway through survival, I'm like, oh my god, am I torturing myself? Yes, for no reason, right? Because I'm not live streaming it. If I was live streaming it, it would have made sense. But I played on survival for half the game, and man, that shit really gets you. It's a really intense experience. It really pulls you into the world that they're trying to pull you into, which is a dark and fucking, a very, very messed up fucking world. I really do like the gameplay. That's all I'm trying to say. There's not much else that I could say about. I mean, I like them. It's definitely the improvement from the first game that we were all expecting. I mean, of course, Naughty Dog was going to do that. That's kind of what I expected. In many ways, like from Uncharted 2 to Uncharted 3 to Uncharted 4, the gameplay is fucking. It improves so much. The actual hand-to-hand combat. I mean, overall, and even the gunplay is really good too. In Last of Us Part 2, it's impactful. That's really a good word to use. It's impactful. The AI screams out people's names or whatever. I didn't really care about that part. I thought it was like secondhand to what I was doing. Of course, everybody has like a dad or a mom in this goddamn game, so who knows? Half of those people could come after Ellie and Tommy, and then, you know, that could probably be part of the game. I don't know. The gameplay was fun. If you're looking for something to just shoot at, if you're trying to be brutal and fucking like creatively brutal, yeah, play this game, because you're gonna have a lot of fun playing this game, just killing people in general. If you don't like the story, yeah, you fucking whatever, skip the cutscenes or whatever. If you don't like this game, I'm not saying you're wrong. You can not like this game, because I see why people don't like certain things. But if you're not gonna like it, actually don't like it for certain, like an actual reason. Don't just say, oh yeah, I don't like it because the plot is bad. What about the plot is bad? What about the characters are bad? What I mean, can you give a reasonable explanation for why you don't like something? Because then you're just proving my point in my last Last of Us video. The petty hatred for Last of Us Part 2. It's still going on. It's still happening. It's still going on. We're still seeing petty hatred, and you know it. You know it. Whatever. I'm not going to get into the hate now. I'll get into that in another video. I want to get into other topics besides The Last of Us Part 2. You know, I'm glad I got this review off my chest. If I had to give it a verdict, 9 out of 10. I think it was better than the first game. I don't think the first game's a masterpiece. I think, looking back at it, a lot of people are blinded by nostalgia for the first game. It's not as good. The plot is very fucking generic. The characters are what makes the story. The first game, I think, was good. Great. I think the second game improved upon everything, had a much more interesting plot, had a much more intense gameplay system, had a more diverse set of characters that made me interested in what else is out there in the world, and I don't know. I like this game better than the first game. So, yeah, 9 out of 10. It's been a month since the game came out, and it's still on my mind, and I still want to keep playing it. And I'm already halfway through like another walkthrough on a different account. I'm gonna go back to my main account and try to do Survivor. Once I actually get good internet here, I'll do a live stream of the Survivor Plus thing, because I mean, that's gonna be fucking hard. That's gonna be a fun live stream. But overall, I'm done. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more videos in the future. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media to keep up to date to my life, because if something happens and I don't upload anymore, I'm not dead. I promise. I'm on social media somewhere. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace out.